We're going to finish this lesson by taking a look at a special function called a step function. It's really just a series of horizontal steps. When you look at the graph on the right, you see that we have a series of horizontal steps, and you can see why it kind of looks like a step function, because it almost looks like a staircase. It just does not have the vertical part connecting each step together. Now, a step function is really a special piecewise function. The notation for a step function looks like this. Now, that means whatever is on the inside, we're going to look for the greatest integer less than or equal to that. In other words, we're going to take what's on the inside and we're going to round it down to the nearest integer. If it is an integer, we're going to leave it. If it's not an integer, we're going to round it down. Now, when you look at a step function, your range, you're only getting out certain integers. And in this case, you're getting out all the integers. But your input means you can put anything you want in there, so that means your domain is all real numbers. So we're going to go ahead and we're going to look at g of x being the step function of an x plus 1, which means our rule says we take our input, we add 1, and then we do the step function, which is round it down to the nearest integer. So we're going to take 3.4, we're going to go ahead and add 1, so we get 4.4 on the inside. If this was an integer, we would leave it, and that would be it. But it's not an integer. We need to round it down to the greatest integer that's less than or equal to this, so we get 4. If we try g of 5.8, we plug in our 5.8, we'd add 1, we get 6.8, and then we apply our greatest step or greatest integer function. So we look for the greatest integer that's less than or equal to this, so we round it down to 6. Same idea with 0.1. We're going to get 0.1 on the inside, we round that down to 1. Same idea over here, even though it's a negative. Now we need to round this down. Keep in mind that when you're rounding down, you always go to the left on a number line. So if you're at negative 3.3 and you round down, you're going to the left on a number line, it's going to round it down to negative 4. So your answer is negative 4.